Hey, it's Rachel. For today's video, I wanted to share with you some tips about food journaling. A lot of you have probably heard of food journaling before. It's not a new concept whatsoever. It's basically just writing down what you eat, and then if you want to, writing down how it makes you feel. And food journaling is super important when you're trying to figure out what foods affect your health, because if you don't write it down, I promise you, you're not gonna remember. I don't even remember what I had for dinner last night. So food journaling is just super important, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to physically write it down, but you can. So my number one way of food journaling is a notebook. So I just have this notebook. It's these, the Moleskine notebooks that everybody loves. They're super thin. You can put them in your back pocket. You can carry them around with you. They come in fun colors. But basically, I just, write down at the top what the day is, breakfast. You can also write down, how much energy you have. Are you tired? One of the things with me is if I eat a meal with a lot of carbs, occasionally I'll get super tired, and that's just like my blood sugar crashing. And so I can start to pick up on trends if I write down, how I'm feeling, whether or not it's related to the food. It's just, it helps you pick up trends. Another thing in here is you can also write down how much water you're drinking. Maybe it's just like a tally mark. Maybe you can, do a little droplet and color it in. But it's really important to drink water, and a lot of times when we're busy at work, we, can get distracted and not drink as much water as we want. So running that down, it's really good. And honestly, anybody can do this, right? Like anybody can carry this around. For guys, this fits in your back pocket. For girls, just put it in your purse and carry it around, and it's always there. So that's one option. And the other option is your phone. Everybody and their mother and their 5-year-old son has a smartphone right now. And okay, fine, go ahead, comment in below if you don't have a smartphone. I'm sorry, use the notebook. But if you do have a smartphone, one of the easiest ways to track your food is just by taking a photograph of it. I know that seems weird. People always joke like, oh, Instagram, taking all these photos of what you eat. But honestly, how long does it take for you to whip out your phone, take a quick photo of it, and it's documented, and you don't have to write it down. It's all there in a photo, and it takes 2 seconds, and you can take it anywhere. So that's actually my preferred method. I use Instagram. Now you can make your Instagram public, or you can make it private. And it's up to you. If this is just for you and you really don't want anybody to know that you're going through this journey, or that you care so much about your food, then just make it private and it's just for you. Or let some people in, maybe let your friends who are also doing this with you, let them see your Instagram, or let your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend see your Instagram. But other than that, leave it private. But one of the benefits of Instagram when you leave it public is the community. So if you do take photos and you do make it public, use hashtags, share what your meals are, and what you're eating that's gluten-free and dairy-free and soy-free. By using hashtags like gluten-free or the hashtag soy-free. If you want to, you can put the hashtag pain-free kitchen, and then I'll see it. If you want to tag me in your photos, and say, hey Rachel, this is what I ate. Like, what do you think? And follow me on Instagram, and then you can see what I eat. And it's just a great way to share meal ideas, especially if you're feeling, bored with the same thing over and over again. And so Instagram is one, and now there's another one that is a little bit more complex. It's definitely not as easy. It is not required whatsoever. But that's MyFitnessPal. And MyFitnessPal is an app for your phone, and it's basically a way to track what you're eating, but more so what your calories are. And for right now, I don't really care how many calories you're eating. I want you to be eating enough. I don't want you to be eating too much. But the great thing is, when you are eating vegetables and fruit and meat, it's really hard to overeat. It's possible, don't get me wrong, you could totally overeat, you know, on nuts. But it's just a lot harder than, say, if you're eating a whole box of Oreos, which I have done. So you don't have to track, you know, your calories. But if you want to, you can. And you can just put in what you're eating and kind of get a sense of how many calories that you're eating. It just gives you a better idea of what your portion sizes are and things like that. You will learn a lot about yourself and how much you're eating just by tracking calories. I did it. I do it from time to time just to get an idea. And that was how I discovered I really wasn't eating enough. I was putting in, you know, how much I was eating, and the thing is that vegetables aren't very high in calories. And so when you're eating mostly vegetables, it's very easy to undereat. It's very easy to, you know, eat 800 calories a day. And that's what I was doing, especially because I was the type of person that doesn't eat, you know, I didn't eat breakfast. I was one of those people in high school and in college that I was never hungry when I woke up in the morning. And so I just didn't eat breakfast. When I started tracking my calories and realizing, hey, Rachel, you are not eating enough. You know, I was able to kind of make changes and start eating breakfast. And now I eat it every single day, and, you know, start eating bigger portions. And it just really helps. Like I said, it really helps trying to figure out where you are in terms of how much you're eating, things like that. So there is MyFitnessPal. It's pretty easy to use. If you want a more in-depth tutorial, I'm more than happy to film one, but I feel like most people out there, you know this app. And the same thing goes with Instagram. I'm assuming that everybody knows how to use Instagram. If you don't, you know, definitely tell me in the comments below, and I'll go through it quickly. But like, again, it's pretty easy. Those are all of the food tracking methods that I can think of right now. When I first started kind of experimenting with food, this was actually before Instagram became really popular. This was more just a thing that the hipsters took like fancy photos with. So I used Tumblr. And it's so funny looking back, because Tumblr kind of has this like weird 14-year-old connotation, right? Like you, nobody really has a Tumblr anymore. But that was something that my boyfriend and I used, because you can actually download the Tumblr app. And it's just like Instagram. You just take a photo, make some comments, upload it to Tumblr. What we did, and he did it with me, we exchanged our Tumblr, you know, web addresses, and, you know, we kind of like checked in on each other, like, oh, I see you had this today, like, oh, okay. And it was just for the two of us, and it was something that we did together. And so, you know, that's another option. If that's something that you want to try, feel free. Feel free to, you know, comment your Tumblr address below if you want me to check it out. Food journaling is going to be really important once we start reintroducing foods. It's good to start now just to get into the habit of it. But once we start, you know, eating the gluten again, once we start eating the dairy again, if you just do it and you don't keep track of what's going on, it's going to be really hard to pinpoint, you know, how it's affecting your body. And so in February, once we start reintroducing everything, it's going to be super important to food journal, and we might as well just get started right now. But before I kind of sign off, There's one more data point that I'm gonna suggest that you track, and you don't have to do this. A lot of people don't, but I like to. I'm gonna weigh myself before I start this, and I'm also gonna take measurements. I think that weighing yourself and taking measurements, or even, you know, taking a picture of your face and seeing how it changes, you'll be really glad that you did that at the end of 30 days. Because I'm not saying, hey, this is gonna make you lose weight. Will you lose weight? Maybe. If I cut out sugar and alcohol, yeah, I'm probably gonna lose a couple pounds. So why not see if you do? So I hope this helps some of you. I know this isn't really new information. Everybody knows, you know, what Instagram is and, you know, food journaling. This isn't new, but hopefully this video kind of sparked an idea that maybe you want to try this, and maybe you want to go on this journey with me. And I know that sounds so hippie, this journey, but seriously, let's try this. And if you have questions, you know, comment below. If you have a food journal, tell me about it. Write in the comments below, you know, how you food journal. Are you an Instagram person? Are you a paper and pen kind of person? You know, what do you do to track? And what things have you learned about yourself by tracking? I'm really interested to see how other people do this and kind of how they've learned. But yeah, but that's it. So I have nothing more to say, so I'm just gonna say bye. Bye. For those of you who don't really know what food, I mean, everybody knows what food journaling is. Okay. Excuse me. Stupid as, oh my god, my pictures have to look really, really good on Instagram. Nobody cares. There's probably something else that I should be talking about. Food journaling is good for you. It's easy. I should probably stop talking. Okay, bye.